She casually mentions that she's been locked up herself loads of times. They locked her up for wanting her mum. And it's obvious Tracy didn't mean any harm in the long run, but Auntie Peggy still gave her a smack for it. Hey guys! Today I'm gonna be reacting to the story of Tracy Beaker. I'm still too embarrassed to hold up the book. Anyway, if you're new around here, listen up, because I've got a little secret for you. I'm not just any YouTuber. I am Charlotte the Starlet, and I'm a writer. So I don't just react, I review. And the way I do it is simple. If I like something, I add a point, starting from last video's total. And if I don't, I take one up. Now, as y'all can see, I've got a couple friends here with me. These are the girls, Angel and Glitter, and this is my little boy Seth. Right, let's jump in. For those who don't know, Tracy Beaker is basically the story of a little girl's life in a care home. She's real loud, she's real boisterous, she's a real troublemaker. So we get to hear about some of the tea that's been going down in the care home. On the best friend question, Tracy said that she's apparently had tons and tons of friends, but her old bestie Louise has gone off with Justine, so now she hasn't got anyone. Tracy's mum let Tracy go on thinking that she is a world-famous A-list actress who's off filming movies in exotic countries, and that's why she never had time for Tracy. Oh wow. Okay, so in case you guys don't remember, this is written by Tracy. We are reading about her life in her own words. And it actually starts off with a pretty real topic, which I didn't expect. I really should have, considering this is a Jacqueline Wilson book, but I didn't. Tracy tries to start off her story with a typical once upon a time da-da-da-da-da. But then she kind of gets sidetracked and goes off on a tangent about how that sounds like the start of a stupid soppy love story. And then she starts talking about the differences between fairy tale characters and how they're portrayed. She basically says that things only go well and you only get a happily ever after if you're like a goody two shoes that's really beautiful and has long golden hair. But if you're not that and you are bad and ugly, you've got no chance. You get given stupid names like Rumpelstiltskin, and no one ever respects you or appreciates you, even if you do like a really big favor. Or if you go on a big adventure and risk your life, people still won't care. She's not wrong, you know? That's actually pretty profound. That's why I was surprised. I didn't expect such a young girl to be saying these cold hard facts about the real world on the literal first page of her story. So I'm impressed. She's getting a point for that. Oh my days. Wait, what? So when Tracy mentions that the bad guys in stories usually end up getting locked up, she casually mentions that she's been locked up herself loads of times. That's hella sus. Ignore my smile. That's not funny. I'm not smiling because it's funny. I'm smiling because I can't believe it. Like, that's crazy. She says that in her first home, like home with a capital H, so in her first foster home, she was locked up all day and all night because she wouldn't settle. And do you know why she wouldn't settle? She wanted her mum. They locked her up for wanting her mum. That's disgusting. But we're not even 50 pages in. This is the second page of her story. Are you kidding? I can just about cope when my little nieces cry when their mum steps out the room. My heart breaks when they cry over that. You know, I feel like crying too. I remember one time, my sister, the mum of my nieces, went on a business trip abroad for a weekend, right? Her girls stayed at my house. You know, I'm their auntie, they love it here. They were fine for the first couple of days, but the day before their mum came back, one of the littler ones had a breakdown because she missed her mom. And I could barely deal with that, you guys. So seeing or hearing or reading about kids getting mistreated over stuff like that, oh my god, it does things to me, man. I really don't know how I'm gonna get through this book. Oh my days. So when Tracy was telling us about that incident, do you know what she says during it? She says, I'm not fibbing. To any Americans or anyone else foreign, that means lying. She says she's not lying, which means there have been other people who have thought she's lying. And I get that kids do lie sometimes, but if a kid is trying to tell you about something like that, it's kind of messed up to assume they're lying about it. That's the kind of stuff you have to keep in the back of your mind. Like, if you're unsure about it, then you do have to look for other signs, like either other kids who talk about it or other stuff that kid says about it. But gaslighting like that, oh my god. People underestimate how harmful that is. That does remind me of this one time I was in hospital when I was younger, you know, because of my sickle cell. I can't exactly remember how old I was. Like, I'm gonna say about 7. And I was trying to tell these doctors that I was in pain. I was having pain in my legs and my back. But the doctors didn't see anything immediately wrong. My vitals were okay, my bloods were okay. There were no signs of infection. I didn't have a fever or anything. So after they checked all of those, I remember they took me and my mum to the side into a room, and I got asked, Charlotte, are you pretending to be in pain? And oh my god, I wanted to bust down crying there and then, but all I did was shake my head. And eventually they decided to dig deeper. They did an MRI scan, and that was when I was vindicated. That's when they found what was wrong. I basically had some complications of my sickle cell, but oh my god, the way they assumed I was pretending when I was there in agony. Like, to me, like that is unforgivable, you know? Anyway, enough about me. Oh, yikes. Right, so after Tracy first mentioned like telling fibs and stuff, she tells us this story about one of her first foster parents, Auntie Peggy. And she tells us about the stories she used to make up with her. Like, from the way Tracy told us about it, it's obvious that she was literally only just making up stuff, not actually telling a lie. But apparently Auntie Peggy can't tell the difference. Like, there's a difference between kids making stuff up because they're bored or something, and making stuff up to get out of trouble or get someone else in trouble. And it's obvious Tracy didn't mean any harm in the long run, but Auntie Peggy still gave her a smack for it. Like, Tracy may have been little when this happened, but she still knew it was wrong for a foster mom to smack their new foster kid. Oh my days. Tracy told her social worker that her foster mom smacked her, and do you know what she did? Do you know what her social worker did? She sided with Auntie Peggy. She was like, well, you do ask for it, Tracy. What kind of social worker? I mean, to be fair, her name is Elaine the Pain, which should really give you a hint of what she's like, but oh my days. You'd expect her to have at least some sense of professionalism. It really is ridiculous how much abuse adults will forgive, especially adults that are in professions such as social workers. Like, in my experience, people in professions like that can be as corrupt as police sometimes. Oh snap. Wow. So the more I read of this, the more I'm realizing that this is basically Tracy's diary. While she was writing, she kind of got carried away writing about all the curses that she'd put on Aunt Peggy. And apparently, Elaine the Pain sat down next to her while she was writing and started reading over her shoulder. I hate it when people do that. Oh my god, it was worse in school, I swear. There were so many nosy teachers. Or even worse, other students who would peek at your work. But being a writer myself, if I was trying to write a book and someone started watching me, I wouldn't be able to type a word. Oh my days. When Elaine asked Tracy what she's writing, Tracy was like, mind your own business. So do you know what Elaine did? She's like, 1, 2, 3. She starts counting up to 10. And according to Tracy, that's what social workers are meant to do when a kid is being difficult. How does she know that? What the heck? Aww. Right, so Elaine is trying to be nice now. But the thing is, she can't be nice without being really patronizing at the same time. Like, she tries to tell Tracy that this is her very own special book that she is gonna keep for the rest of her life. So she shouldn't ruin it by writing all kinds of rude stuff about her and Aunt Peggy. And once again, Tracy comes out with another surprisingly real answer. She's like, well, my life hasn't been very special so far, so why can't I make up any old stuff? No. Oh my days. Do you know what Elaine does after that? She puts her arm around Tracy, squeezes her tight, and was like, I know you've had a hard time, but you're so special. See what I mean about being patronizing? God, oh my days, that just made me cringe. Oh wow. Every single thing Tracy says is uncomfortably real. She says, if I'm so special, why does no one want me? Like, how do you even answer that? You can't, can you? Oh wow. No, Elaine is starting to sound like my dad. She's like, I know it must have been disappointing when your second placement didn't work, but you mustn't let it depress you. Exactly like my dad. Oh my days. And then Elaine starts going on about how there are lots of people who would get on with Tracy. She could be fostered by anyone. But then Tracy turns things back on her. She's like, oh yeah? Why don't you foster me then? Oh snap. Tracy's playing devil's advocate. She starts talking about how Elaine gets extra money if Tracy gets fostered. And extra money because Tracy's difficult and she's got behavioral problems. Again, how does she know all of this? She's 10 years old. I knew nothing about the world when I was 10. Elaine is actually going with the idea. So Tracy reveals that she was only joking. Which I figured. And then she's like, I wouldn't want to live with you anyway. You're stupid and boring and fat and wobbly and ugly. Calm down. Uncalled for. Damn. Tracy's going in on Elaine. After she calls them all their names, she continues ripping into her in her writing. In her book, she calls her out for trying to appear all calm and collected, but still sucking in her stomach to look skinnier. Right, so it seems like Tracy is taking her aggressions out on Elaine, which is a little messed up, but you can't really blame her for. Like, she is a foster kid who's been abandoned by her mum and by 2 other families apparently, and has had to deal with stuff like getting locked up and hit. So no wonder she has outbursts like this. Right, that is where I'm gonna leave it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give that like button a little kiss and subscribe to become a Starlet. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram and Tumblr. And if you have read something that has just left you shook beyond repair, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Bye!